Good evening, everybody, and a warm welcome. It's a huge pleasure to be back again on SPTV. Just before we get started, we'll do a few shout outs as people come on, and then we'll get started and do some mediumship. So just a little bit about my background while we're waiting. My name is Paul Humphries. I'm from Grimsby, and I've been working as a medium for approximately 15 years. And it's something that's been with me since a child. Predominantly when I work, when the spirit world steps forward, they will show me things. They'll show me things about themselves, and they'll show me things about you guys. Hopefully good things. We don't want any bad news tonight. Very lucky for me as well. I get to feel spirit people as well. When I come forward, I get to feel the personality, what they was like as people. If they was happy, sad, miserable, funny, difficult, awkward, swearing, drunk. We've all got a personality, so it tends to really, really shine. And more than often in those feelings, I tend to experience a little bit what they went through, the conditions that I was faced in, because at the very least, they want to come back and say that they're okay and that they're living on. Sometimes I smell and taste things, and sometimes I get to hear things. So there's a whole range of different communications going off. So we just wait for some people to come on. Have got any names, Richard? Oh, there we go. So Millie B, good evening to you. It's nice to see you on here. Terry Louise, good evening. It's a pleasure. Mrs. MB, nice to meet you. I love the picture of the dog. Beautiful dog. Karen Crane, good evening. It's nice to see you on here this evening. Amy Louise Jones, good evening to you. Independent Puppy, good evening to you as well, sir. Okay. Hello to Canada, Kelsey Deckening. It's nice to see you on here. Okay, so I'm starting to feel some spirit people coming through now. Caroline Sambrooks, good evening. Monica Hearns, good evening to you. Okay. Nicola Hender, good evening. Good evening. Okay, so we're starting to feel one coming forward now. Susan Anderson, I feel a little bit drawn to you right now, Susan. And so let's have a little look. Now, I may go directly with people, but if some spirit people do randomly come in, I'll just give off everything that I've got. And if somebody's recognize it, please give a shout out if you think it's for you. If not, I'm going to go direct like I've done with Susan. So first off, Susan, there is a lovely lady that steps into the atmosphere. This lady, she connects with me. I do feel she's coming from the maternal side of your family. So your maternal side there, so your mother's side. This lady feels like she's been up there for a few years now, Suzanne. And as she steps forward to me, I would say, albeit she's a very kindred soul, she's certainly a lady that I would say was quite direct. So quite a firm and fair lady, but not a bad lady. She was certainly one of those, I think, when she was operating as a mother on the earth, she would be like, you march up those stairs, young lady, and things like this. So quite a strong personality. But I certainly know she comes in around you and she does watch over you through your life. Not wishing to scare you in any way, but I do think this lady does try her hardest to try and get your attention from time to time. Simple things like leaving feathers around, sending robins and butterflies, all those kind of things to get your attention. But on the other hand, I'm also seeing where sometimes she even puts the essence of her energy around as well for you to feel her. So maybe you've had a few experiences where you may have been sat there watching TV or doing your day-to-day things, Suzanne, and you're feeling this presence of this lady. Now, as I'm connecting with you, I'm also feeling a father figure that's in the spirit world as well. This gentleman is a paternal connection. So either we've got dad in spirit, or this would be of a grandfather, but certainly from the paternal side, your dad's side. Now, as this man connects with me, he passed into spirit pretty quickly, Suzanne. It feels as if that he was doing okay in those last couple of weeks. He just went from A to B very, very quickly. And I saw there with him that unfortunately, to his sorrow, there were one or two people in family, Suzanne, that didn't quite get that chance to say goodbye at the very, very end. And I do know as he takes that final breath, he came around every single one of you before he crossed over. Now, I've also been told as well, Suzanne, that through this lady that first came and then this father figure of yours, that I'm going to go back about 18 about 18 years ago, no, maybe even a little bit more than that, Suzanne, bear with me a second, about 23 years ago. So somewhere around the time, so it is your dad in spirit. Okay. So around the time of the millennium, I did actually see, Suzanne, that within the family, there was actually an unborn child that did cross into the spirit world. So someone had a little loss about 20 short years ago, about 21, 22 years ago. There was a little soul that went into the spirit world that all your loved ones up there have been taken care of. And I do know that the mother of the child is still very, very much with us. And I can see your mother and your dad bringing this baby down from the spirit world towards where the mother of that child is. Now, your dad, he was a very, very good man. As I said, this father figure is a great man. And I know as he looks upon you, Suzanne, there is this real sense of, she's still my baby girl. She's still my princess. And I get this feeling also of wanting to say, thank you for the amazing words that was written in his memory. He was so moved by it. Now, you may need to get your thinking cap on with this, Suzanne, but according to your dad, today's the 9th of March, but very close by, I'd say probably within the next few days or just a couple of days in the past, I feel very drawn. There is a period of time of interest, like someone's birthday or an anniversary, that is very, very, very close to me. And somewhere around July the 21st to 22nd, somewhere around there as well, seems to have a lot of importance. Know that your mum and dad very much love you. You lost a baby. Okay, darling. Know that that baby survives. Um, your lovely mum and dad, bless them, know they're very proud of you, Suzanne, and know that they've been watching over you over these last few years. The way you are conducting yourself in life, you're an amazing person. But just as I start to draw back, I would say this, Suzanne. I think you may need to kind of evaluate your life a little bit in a sense of trying to find a bit more value for yourself, because the way your mum and dad shows me is this sense of that you do everything for everyone. It is time for you to take back a little bit of power and having a bit of you time. So it's really needed. So much love to you, my darling. Know that your parents are with you today. Know that they're thinking about you. And you do make them very, very proud. All the best to you, Suzanne. God bless you, darling. Okay, Richard, to the next ones. Hello, Tara Bradshaw. Nice to see you on here. Jennifer McCormick. Um, So just to, I'm sure some of you are aware, if you do want to come onto the Zoom with me on camera, you're more than welcome to. And anybody that, who I read for, if you want to come on Zoom, go for it. Debbie Cole, good evening. Good evening to you. Nicola Guess, good evening. That not the last one, but the one prior. Can we go back to that one? Is that okay? I can't remember now. It was one before, one before that, I think. Okay, keep going forward. It's fine. Yeah, Debbie Cole. Debbie Cole, that's the one. Debbie Cole. If I can connect with Debbie Cole, did you want to come on live, Debbie Cole? You're more than welcome to, but I do feel a little bit drawn to your name. So I don't know if she wants to come on or not. If not, I'll just give off what we've got. I did feel a gentleman's energy coming forward, Debbie, and one of the first impressions I was getting from him was this real strong respiratory issue. So we could be talking something on the lines of perhaps emphysema, COPD, lung cancer kind of thing. And I do know as he was connecting with me, he was so desperate wanting to say, I can breathe now, I am fine. You must thank my family for the care, the support that he received. I'm starting to get a feeling it may have been a form of cancer with him, because I also see a little bit of weight loss before he went up there through a bit of battling. And I know he's, she can't do Zoom. Okay, so if you just comment to me, Debbie, that'd be absolutely fantastic. So this man battled a little bit before he crossed over. And I know as he goes up there, somebody was squeezing his hand. He felt his hand being held, Debbie. And that was really important to him, that he felt the love of his family. And I do feel he was in a bit of a kind of comatose state before he crossed over. And I think they did put like a syringe driver into him to help with the pain in those last hours of his life, to help aid him there. And he felt very blessed of all the support and care that he did receive from family and friends, etc., and doctors and nurses. Now, this man does come in visitation, Debbie, around you. And like the last lady that I read for, you can see him coming into your home. But I don't want to scare you either. But I do feel the presence of spirit quite frequently, to be honest, with you, walk into your bedroom, and sometimes they even come up and give you a little kiss. And certainly from a lady that feels like your grandmother. Now, this lady, she's got the most purest of white hair. Now, I know we get grey sometimes we do. I'm just a little bit, gets a bit grey as we get older, but she had the most pearly white hair, so beautiful. And it's got such body to her hair. And, if you can imagine like the Queen for a moment and how thickened her hair is, and she could walk out in a tsunami and, you know, in a hurricane and it wouldn't move. This lady had really, really thick hair, and she's so stunning. She's got these really sparkly eyes. And oh, you understand what happens in your room. So I can see this presence of spirit coming into your bedroom. And it's quite interesting, Debbie, because what was given to me, I think it was either last night or the night before, and it was roughly around 11 minutes to 3 in the morning, that these beautiful people, and the gentleman and the lady of grandmother, granddad, etc., coming down into the spirit world, from the spirit world into your room about 11 minutes to 3, they bent over and actually gave you a kiss, and you went like this, you startled, and you got up and you went to the toilet, and they got ever so excited because they got to that point where they just woke you. And I can see where they've been trying their hardest to show themselves. So don't ever let that scare you, Debbie, if you ever wake quickly and see one of their faces there, because it comes with love. It really does. You may need to get your thinking cap on with this, Debbie, but I certainly can see where there are two people's birthday that actually sit very, very close together, Debbie, like you've got one on a Monday and one on a Friday kind of thing. And I can see the love of spirit coming down and sending their thoughts where they're coming in quite frequently over this short period of time. Now, I do also see, Debbie, and I'm glad you find that comforting. What I do see, Debbie, also in this connection, I saw a young gentleman, also a very young gentleman that seems to know you. Now, as this young gentleman connects with me, I do feel sadly that he passed in very tragic, very traumatic circumstances before he left this earth. And as he went to spirit, I do feel some form of impact into his body that had caused his passing. And he went very quickly. So I don't know if this is a family member of yours or just through your friends, but I know he's trying to reach out and say that despite that fatal day, that he didn't feel anything. And he talks with great affection about somebody by the name of Michael. So I don't know if that's his name or he's got a strong link with that name into his family or friends. So that may be some food for thought for later if you're not sure, Debbie. Hopefully you can confirm it. Now, this beautiful gentleman with the conditions that I first connect with, this father figure, if it's an uncle, granddad kind of thing, that I know he wanted to express, it's your son's best friend. Okay, thank you for confirming. I'll give a little bit more on that because I can still feel his presence. So just coming back to the gentleman with the breathing problems, he was very desperate, Debbie, to say that those conditions have gone. And he is right as rain in the spirit world. And he's loving the fact that he doesn't have to pay for anything over there. So I don't know if he was a bit of a cheeky bloke when he was on the earth, maybe a bit close with his wallet, but certainly in the spirit world, he's loving the fact that it really is utopia over there, that he's having a great time. Although I don't think he did it a great deal in life, I can actually see, oh, Michael's is your husband, so it must be connected to Michael. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, just that the information comes a bit delayed. So this lovely gentleman is happy in spirit. I could see him up there, this gentleman, connected with people and sharing a few beverages up there. He's having a great time. So coming back to your son's friend, I do feel, because there was some information he was giving me there, that he may have first got to know your son maybe from school and things like this. And I know he was very desperate, wanting to get his family to know that despite that fatal day that he didn't feel anything. because when I think about his life, there is parents that had to lay a child to rest. That is such a big deal. No parent should have to go through that's the worst grief in this world. So we've seen this as a golden opportunity to come through, letting his family and friends know that he survived, he is happy, and he's completely at peace. So please pass that on if you can, Debbie, to your son, and maybe you can relay that back to his family. And in the meantime, we have all these other loved ones there that are watching over you and care for you and love you very much. Just one more thing that I did see. Although I'm not a fortune teller per se, sometimes they do give me little snippets, of things to come. But they did say to expect into the future that the next born child is going to be that of a little girl. So maybe, Debbie, you want to start thinking about learning how to knit if it's your son who's going to have a baby or one of the other ones in family. And maybe it'll save you a few quid for the future, Deb. So loads of love to you, my darling. I hope you can take a lot from that little message. And God bless you, sweetheart. So moving on to the next one. Okay. Why, what's the matter? Oh, right. I just keep going and see what comes through. Okay. Thank you for that, Debbie. So let's see where I'm going to connect next. I've actually got a person that's pushed his way straight in, so I may have to just give this one off. And if somebody's resonating with it, if you can just comment and go, I think this is for me, and then we'll see where we go. Because I've got a person that's just jumped straight in. I think he must have been inspired by the last reading, thinking it's quite relative. Because I've got another young gentleman that's wanting to reach out to his mother, to his family. That as he connects with me here, I know that sadly he made his own decision to leave this earth. And I do feel there was a form of an asphyxiation in his passing. So he's made his own choice there. Now I do feel with him that he did struggle with life, and I do feel there was some forms of slight mental health issues going off with him, a lot of depression and so forth. And I know he's trying to desperately reach to his mother, to at least one of his family members to say, I'm still here, I'm at peace, and I love you so much. Know that I'm around, know that I'm always with you. Now, he was only a young gentleman, I would say probably in his early 20s. I wouldn't have thought much more than that. And he knows, with it just being Christmas time, he knows that there was a memorial and bauble that's been made that went on the tree, and he saw that. And I do see that in one of the family members' house, possibly his mother's house, I would have thought. I'm seeing four, maybe five, even six photographs of him literally displayed all around the room in different time frames of his life, from being a child up to his teen years to his young adult years. He's so desperate wanting to come through. So I'm hoping that somebody who's listening is resonating with this. Nicola Jane, did you want to come on to Zoom, Nicola? Did you want to come on live with me? See if we can get a strong connection. Okay, how does it connect with Nicola? Sounds like my friend with Gemma. Okay, any more there, Richard, that's resonating? I'd like to think I can connect with family if this family. Um, and see if I can get a little bit more information from him so we can narrow the two that said they think it's for them. I would say no more than 25 with him. He does feel like an early 20 to me. And I also know with him as well, very cheekily, he had on a few occasions had a little bit of marijuana as well. So that may be able to narrow it down, bless him. So he enjoyed his life a little bit there. So he did smoke. Oh no, thank you. She doesn't want to come on live. But if the two ladies are relating with that extra bit of information, we can maybe be able to narrow that down. So we just give that a second. He's ever so desperate wanting to come through. And he's a good looking chappy as well. He's got some very sparkling eyes, very handsome gent. And I'm starting to see a little bit my friend's grandson, but he was only 18. That's not a million miles off. I need a little bit more information. So the three that's now come forward, let's just keep getting more information. We can narrow it down. I think he may have had just a small couple of tattoos, not many, but I can see some artwork on his arms. So there is some artwork. So there's a few tattoos there with him, and I do feel like he was found in his home when he passed. He was in his home. I think it might have been his bedroom. Passed before his 21st birthday, smoked, mental health, and passed by suicide in jail. Very blue eyes. Do you know what? I'm feeling very strong with Millie. I'm feeling very strong. I did see a room he was in, so it might be the gel she's talking about. Mental health, smoked, yeah. This is resonating. This is resonating. Early 20s, yeah. This is feeling right. So I don't know if Millie B wants to come on to Zoom or she wants to just talk through messengers. Let's have a little look. Okay. Let's see. Be brave, Millie. You can do it. You've got this. You've got this, Millie. Bless her. And on an old man, so don't worry about it. See if she wants to come on. I don't like them shy. Millie, is this a family member of yours? Sorry to ask the question. I just want to see the connection because I know he's desperate wanting to connect to his family, but if you are just a friend, that's equally as important as one. And maybe you can relay some messages because I do feel a lot with him. And so I just want to just confirm. So while I'm waiting for your response, I'm going to give a couple of more things that he wanted to say because I do know he was suffering greatly with mental health there. I do feel through his life there's a sense of rejection with him. I don't think he did too well in relationships and possibly one or two of his family as well. Good friend of yours when you was young. Okay, so at least I know understand the connection. So I don't know if you can get messages back to his family, but at the very least, at least you know that he survived. And I think that's what's very, very important here. That he's found his peace. Thank you if you can pass the message. He's found his peace in spirit. He is happy and he's loved up there, despite the things that have happened through his life, through the troubled life that he had. That's how I was saying, it was a bit of a troubled life. Bless him, that he is at peace and he is behaving himself in spirit. So yes, I could smell the tobacco. I could smell a little bit of weed as well with him. But hey, none of us are judging. None of us are torn. Now, I know he's trying to desperately reach to his mother because that was the first impression that he was giving to me. Because one of the things he wanted to get through was, can you please tell my mother I didn't always appreciate everything that she did for me. I didn't always appreciate when she used to stick her hand out to him to try and help, and sometimes he used to turn his back a little bit from his family. And he apologizes deeply. He really does. As I'm starting to get an understanding with him, I think there was an Asperger's or a bipolar kind of disorder with him. Um, yeah, there was this condition like that with this young man that I think didn't help his lifestyle. And so, yes, it is important that I can get to his mom to let his mom know, Mom, I love you very much. I am so at peace up here. And in his own way, he's saying, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I've left this great big hole in your life, but I could not go on no longer. It's almost as if it's like one thing, another thing, another thing, another thing, to it kind of piles and piles and piles to the point he came to this boiling point and he just couldn't take any more. And I think this little bit of time in prison, I think, is just putting the cherry on the cake, so to speak. What that young lad needed was some real support to help him through these difficult times he was having. But I tell you this, my darling, he does take full responsibility for his life. Even though he had these mental health issues, he still takes responsibility. He blames himself a little bit there, but he is at his peace. Whilst I'm talking to you, Millie, I do have one of your grandmothers here. Now, for what I can see, I think your mum's here, and I think your mum's here, and I think this is mum's mum, just to confuse things, which would be a great maternal grandmother. I know she's in visitation as well, sending lovely thoughts to your family, which is really lovely. She likes to come in visitation a lot. Okay, my friend, I've not finished with you. Your lovely grandmother up there, your great gran, she likes to send a lot of thoughts, like I said. She was very, very good in the kitchen for what I can see. Um, I can see in the kitchen, Millie, that she was very good at baking and cooking. She would use all the old traditional recipes. She used to have that Aunt Biro, not Aunt Biro, thinking of Aunt Bessie, the Biro cookbook and stuff like that. So she knew all the old recipes. Very, very wonderful lady. That's such a matriarchal presence with her as well. I think had its place. She was the one who was in charge, and she's sending a lot of loving thoughts across. She put into my mind, Millie. Okay, yeah. So it's probably I may have a little bit of both there, Millie, with them. She did put into my mind, Millie, that this year is going to be a real turning point for you in your life, and she seems to think that it's going to be a slight change in direction for you. Now, one of the things your gran was putting into my thoughts is this beautiful blue that you've got in your aura. Now, the way that I work as a medium, I tend to see blue with everyone, but it's different shades, going from a very bright blue to a very dark blue, the bright side being the positive side and the dark blue being a negative side. And it gives you an idea and a feeling of a person, how they conduct themselves. And what I feel with you, Millie, you're in this kind of side of the very bright side, but in this very compassionate side with a lot of empathy. And your gran up there, she seems to think that one day you would do very, very well in this world if you was to do a service to help people. And she feels you do very well in any kind of people care, healthcare, working with children, people in general to help better their lives. You've got so much to give. You've got a very, very nurturing soul. And it wouldn't surprise me, Millie, if you was to favour a job in the future that would end up working with children, because the way your gran expresses is like you're very naturally born to help. Absolutely. So she says that everything's going to turn around for you. There's going to be some massive, massive changes in your life for the better. And so she's a bit of your guardian angel, I think. I don't think you got a chance to say goodbye to your gran at the end. I think you was informed by a phone call that she slipped away. Now she did fight very hard in conditions as well. She really did. And in her time in spirit, albeit I'm not sure if she did it a lot when she was alive, but some of her friends that she's met with in spirit, that she's been playing bingo over there, your grandmother, cheeky monkey. Well, I hope she sends hope she wins some money and sends it your way because she doesn't need it. Absolutely. Maybe something to cheer you up there, Millie. Bless her heart. Now, I do see strong links around October the 11th, the 12th, somewhere around where there's birthdays and there is anniversaries. And so that's really nice. So I can do feel the love of your grand coming in. Now, your friend, just once again, has just made a reference there that as I go back a few years, and it's probably around your school period time, your later years of school. Now, you may not know this, Millie, but I think this young gentleman may just been a little bit sweet on you. Maybe I'd never had the courage to tell you so, but I do think he was a little bit sweet. And so know that he's happy up there now. I know all those conditions, all those thoughts he had, and that bit of doubt. Oh, she loved the bingo, did she? Oh, wow, 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 awesome. Thank you for confirming. So all those conditions that he went through have gone. And with your grandmother as well, you didn't get to say goodbye. Yeah, I can see that. Just know that when she took a final breath, Millie, sorry, that she came to you before she crossed over. Okay, with you just being so young, it's understandable. But she did come to you, Millie, and she spent a few moments with you before she went to the highest side of life. Millie, just before we break away, maybe something you could confirm, but I do get a strong feeling at the time when she passed away that you actually drew a picture of yourself with your grandmother that had these beautiful, beautiful rainbow and these beautiful flowers that I do see look like a bit like roses or tulips. These beautiful flowers, all done in pencil crayon or felt tips there, that I think that may have gone with your grandmother because there's a real sense of wanting to say thank you for the picture. Now, that may be going back a few years with you, Millie, something to think about, but maybe your mum would remember popping something inside like that. My darling, there's so much love here for you from your friend, from your grandmother. Know that they're with you tonight and know that they love you. Those love, Millie. God bless. God bless. Okay, ready to move on to the next ones? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we're halfway through, so we're going to just drop into a commercial and I'll see you very shortly.
Introducing the SPTV app, your digital spiritual guide, for an enlightening journey like no other. Immerse yourself in a world of audio and visual content crafted to inspire, educate, and entertain. Seek guidance with our card of the day, choosing up to 6 cards for personal insights. Enhance your daily life with our wellness section, featuring nutritious recipes, affirmations, and balanced living tips. Explore our spiritualism section for a deep understanding of the religion, its principles, and spiritual answers. Unravel the secrets of the clairs and broaden your spiritual horizon. Easily find local readers, therapists, centers, or churches with our comprehensive directory. Stay connected with live broadcasts, check our schedule, and get to know our insightful presenters. Delve into the meanings of angel numbers, crystals, and a comprehensive list of divination meanings. All of this and more, available for free on the SPTV app. Download now at sptv.uk/app and start your journey with your digital spiritual guide.
Wimbledon Spiritualist Church hosts our divine service tomorrow. This starts from 11 a.m. with a demonstration of mediumship.
Maria and Lee, from the Spiritual Guidance Center, will be here on Spiritual Psychics TV, live tomorrow from 8 p.m.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, everybody. Don't forget to share this feed onto your pages, onto your social network sites. If you do, that'll be absolutely wonderful to get it out there, get sharing away, and see if we can get this community to grow. Okay, so moving on now and see who next wants to come and communicate. Wendy Lindsay, good evening to you. And Chrissy, good evening. Lovely rainbows there, very pretty. Bette Davis, good evening. Sam B, good evening. Mel Dean, good evening. Cheryl, good evening to you. The lady called Cheryl, I feel a little bit drawn to. Could we go back to that lady? There was a one before this one, Cheryl. Oh, bless you. That's the one. Cheryl Burdenake. I don't know if I'm Burdenak. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly, Cheryl, so please forgive me. But I do feel a little bit drawn to at this time. So let's have a little look for you, Cheryl. I did feel a couple of energies, and as your name came through, I could feel them pushing in just a little bit. So I'm assuming this is going to be for you. But it is a pleasure to see you on here, Cheryl, and let's see what we've got. Whoa, that's a strong energy, that is. Cheryl, just straight off the mark, I've got a nice little group of people that's coming forward, but there's one energy in particular that I don't think has been there that particularly long. Maybe just in a few short years, a year, 2 years. I wouldn't have thought much more than that. But I can feel them really pushing in to say, I'm here, I'm not gone, I am with you, which is really, really nice. Cheryl, I do feel alongside this little group, there's a mother figure that's in spirit. So if your mum's crossed a spirit or maybe an auntie, but it seems to be of that kind of level. If not, it's going to be a strong maternal grandmother that would have been close to you, but she's very maternal, this lady. I know she's got a great heart, and she's got one of those energies, Cheryl, where I want to put my arms around and just give her a big old squeeze, and just feel all that love from this lady. She's got such a warm, beautiful, beautiful energy. And as she connects further, I know she wants to chatter and chatter and chatter. She wants to talk about everything. She'll get the cup of teas, the biscuits, the cakes out, and you could sit for hours just talking and talking with this lady. And not that she was a busybody, this woman, but what I would say with her, Cheryl, she had a bit of a habit sometimes. If she kind of heard something coming from outdoors, she'd go up to the window and she'd be like, oh, that's going off up there tonight. So she was a slight curtain twitcher, But, she wasn't a busybody. I just think she likes to know what was going off, likes to chatter, little bit of juicy goss from time to time. I really, really like this lady. And when she laughs, Cheryl, it just kind of illuminates the room. It's like really loud. It's very, very beautiful. Well, I know she loves you very much, and she has been coming down from the spirit world. And this lady, as I said, so I think it was either the first or second reading with I think it might have been the lady called Demi, one of her grandmothers. But when this lady comes down from the spirit world, sometimes she even sits on the bed. And she said to me, there was a time when you did actually feel as if the bed was being depressed, that it's kind of been sat on, and maybe you thought you was dreaming a little bit. But this lady says, that was me. That was me trying to get your attention, not to scare you, just enough to say, I'm still around. I'm still around. Now, I know there's a gentleman with me here as well, Cheryl, that used to smoke like a chimney. Okay. And I do feel one's going out, and in a few moments, he's got another one on the go. And back in his day, I feel that this man would smoke like the old fashioned Park Drive, Woodbine kind of cigarettes, because I've seen like non-tipped ones. So he'd smoked those back in his day. And although I smelt the tobacco, I can also smell, the old fashioned way of shaving with a brush and a soap, like imperial leather. I can smell that on his skin. And I can see the motion of it doing it the old-fashioned ways, like you don't use this squirty stuff malarkey, you do it the old-fashioned way. Now, this lovely man, he's great that's come here. So he's some kind of a father figure that does watch over you, Cheryl. And I know I could have a good laugh with him. He's quite jovial, and he didn't always take life too seriously. Just got on with things. What you see is what you get. No airs and graces. Not a bad man by any means. But I do feel with him that he did battle for quite a bit of time with various things going off as well. And I feel a bit of tension to his stomach area as well. So I don't know if he got like some form of stomach bowel kind of problems, like cancer in there, but I could feel this tension into that area that I know he's wanting to express that has gone, and he is fine, and he is back on his feet. Now, I know very close to bonfire night, Cheryl, seems to have a lot of importance. So I'd suspect there is a birthday or an anniversary or something that would connect around that period of time. There is also a mention of what sound a little bit like Harry or Harold or something that is linked over in the world of spirit. And also Bill, I think, wants to be remembered as well. So some maybe extra family members or friends of the family that are linked over there also. I do also have to talk about some years ago that maybe there's something you can confirm. I feel where there may have been a twinless baby. I don't know if it was carrying twins and a lost one and one survived, or whether there was a loss of twins. One way or another, I know I've got to acknowledge it, that one of these lives do continue in the world of spirit, that your loved ones there do take very good care of. So somewhere in the family some years ago, there had been a loss when I've seen association of twins. So that may be something to have a little think about, Cheryl, if you're not sure. Okay, bless you, darling. All right, my lovely. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, give that again. So the gentleman with the stomach issue. Cheryl, sorry, please forgive me, but did you say you've got your daughter in spirit? Is that something that you just said there? Because I'm not sure if I read that properly. It's your birth. I think that's what she said, because there is a. So that's probably when she passed. So I'm not sure if that was one of the babies that they're referencing, or if that was an adult child. But I know I've got to acknowledge the fact from their standpoint, they are talking about, and that's your dad. Okay, perfect. That they're acknowledging this loss. So if that is what's connecting with you, Cheryl, then that's their way of letting us know. So that's really, really nice. Bless you. So yes, your dad, he is fit as a fiddle. He is fine, and I think he keeps all the family together in the spirit world. He's taking care of everyone. A proper gentleman, your dad there, Cheryl, because, if I was to meet him for the very first time, he would come over and he'd shake your hand. He certainly would. If you passed him in the streets, it'd be one of those gents would say, good morning, adult child. It may be I'm getting the symbology of those references in the wrong kind of context, but I know it's an important thing I've got to mention about the acknowledgement coming from these people, because it is a sense of we've got a grandchild with us. But there was mention of twins as well, so it may be there's a little bit of a cross link in family, but I know it all needs to be acknowledged. But know that your daughter is okay. And I've just been shown now, Cheryl, you have literally got in your hand, and although you're not on Zoom with me, if you've got in your hand something that's pertaining to your daughter, or you've literally just touched their photograph, you've just done something this moment that is linked to your daughter. Okay. I think it is a photograph that you've just picked up. So that may be something you can confirm, and that will give a lot of evidence to support that these people are watching right now. And yes, I actually do think even before you come onto this session, you picked her up and you gave her a kiss as well, with the hope of, I do hope she comes tonight. So maybe that's something you can confirm. And as a matter of fact, you are also, I believe you're wearing something of your daughter's right now, even it's in a memory of a jewelry or maybe an item of clothing. But I just feel so strongly to say that it's like she's present with you in a spiritual way, and also what feels more of a tactile, physical way. Yes, you've just done that, have you? That's it. So they are watching, they are very much around. So maybe you can confirm there's something that you're wearing as well, if it's that's a piece of jewelry or a piece of her clothing, because I feel as if she's saying she's got that on right now, Paul. Okay, so that's really, really cool. And also, Cheryl, this has got to be your daughter, because she's also just said to me this morning when you woke up and you got out of bed, Cheryl, she had actually dropped you a feather in the doorway of your bedroom. I think you did look, and there was a little tiny feather there that I believe she placed there knowingly that she's going to come on here tonight to give that information. So that may be something you can confirm. Okay. You've got her fingerprint on jewelry, and that's what you're wearing. Perfect. Because I feel, as I said, there's a physical tactileness about the jewelry in memory that I know that she's very well aware of. So that's her way of letting you know that she's in this reading. Okay, that's perfect. She says she knew Ellie, Cheryl. She knew Ellie or Ella. I think that may have been one of her friends. Eloise, Ella, Ellie, that kind of name seems to be important. Okay, I'm not sure what you're saying. Oh my God, yes to. I hope that was a good piece of evidence. Maybe that was about the feather. Okay, that's brilliant. But yes, there's this mention of the name of Ellie that I think is important to your daughter. Okay, and she's also now just mentioned about taking some articles of her clothing and making a memory cushion. And I also feel very drawn that there is a bag of her things that is on the bottom right in the wardrobe, on the bottom right on the floor. I think there's a bag that contains bits and pieces. And oh, it's Lily, not Ellie. Got you. Perfect. That will do for me, because it was that sound that I was hearing. There is a bag in the wardrobe with bits and pieces in, but I think also, Cheryl, literally, there is. Oh, Lily's a daughter. Perfect. Thank you, my darling. That's really good confirmation. There is a bottle of her perfume that I believe you have in your bedroom that's 3/4 full. I think it's on display, and I think it's on the dressing table or your chest of drawers. Like something I can smell, because I can see her coming into the bedroom. She sees the bottle and she's trying to put that odor, that smell into your house. Okay. And I don't know if it's like the Beyonce kind of perfume. I'm not really sure, I'm a man, so please forgive me. One smells the same as the next to me, but I kind of feel it's like this Beyonce kind of perfume. Please forgive me if I haven't got that right. I'm not an expert with fragrances, but she has been trying to do that. She's also put into my mind, yes, you've got the clothes. She's put into my mind too, Mom, I've made it over there. I'm with my grandparents. I've been well looked after. I'm at peace. I'm not in pain. And I'm sorry that some people didn't get to say goodbye. It all happened very quick. I am okay, Mom. I am okay, Mom. All right, my darling. And she's also just mentioned I'm not going to strip off or anything, but here, I think here, Cheryl, that somebody's had a memory tattoo. If it's not here, but it would be to my left-hand side somewhere. Somebody's had a memory tattoo of your daughter. And it's almost as if I'm saying it's close to my heart. It's close to my heart. Yeah, this is making a lot of sense, Cheryl, why she would make those references. That she's not in any pain and it was quick. She never suffered. Yeah, there's something here, some kind of tattoo that she's referencing that somebody's done in her memory. Now, she's also just put into my thoughts as well. Her brother has perfect. Thank you for confirming that, Cheryl. She's also put into my thoughts as well. I don't want to upset you, but she's talking about her send-off. She said it was made to look beautiful. It was made to look it was very uplifting. It wasn't doom and gloom and dark and sad. And it wasn't like from the Addams family where everything is black. It was bright. It was uplifting. I feel there were several people that may have even worn the same t-shirt or the same color, but it wasn't black that she's referencing. It's like, you must say thank you. You must say thank you. She has got the balloon that was written on with a Sharpie, black Sharpie pen. Somebody has sent a helium balloon up to where maybe there were several, but there was one that was written on. Okay, it was almost like something on the lines of kisses to heaven, that kind of thing. And she'd received that. So if that was yourself or family or one of her friends, just know that she has that. Okay, and it meant a lot to her. Cheryl, I could spend literally the rest of this session with you, my darling. And it was all yellow thinking. I really could spend all this session with you. And but I have to move on now, my darling. But know that your daughter, your dad, and everybody else that is in spirit is very much around you. They love you very much. And your daughter just put into my mind, and also with her daughter, she's always going to be watching over her and you and the family. But she'd also said to me there, Cheryl, when it's your time to leave this earth, she will come and grace you. Okay, she'll be by your side. And just again, as she steps back, thank you for everything what you're doing around Lily. Okay, you've done a lot for her, and I think you've now become that mother figure. And she couldn't ask for a better person in life to take that role. Cheryl, you're an amazing woman, and I'm sure everybody that's online tonight is sending healing thoughts to you and to your family. All the best to you, my darling, and God bless you. Okay, Richard? Hello, Sophie Willis, how are you? Okay, so hello, Wendy. I've got another one that's just stepping forward. This is a husband's love, I feel, so I'm gonna have to kind of dress you all with this, but he's coming quite strong. This is a husband that's trying to reach to his wife, to his family, but I feel with him perhaps cardiac arrest that's taken him over there very, very quickly. And I think there may have been some early warning signs, a couple of weeks of some slight illness, but he seemed to have had a heart attack that took him quickly. Now, he wasn't, excuse me, he wasn't an old man by any means. I think he have only made, excuse me again, I think he may have only been in his 60s, late 50s there. He wasn't particularly that old. And but his passing does seem to come across very, very quick. So his wife's still alive, but he's obviously got children as well that he's trying to reach to as well. So it may be that this is your dad and your mum's, here with us. My husband had cat, Lisa Wilkinson. Let's go with it. I feel strong here. Wow, Lisa. I don't know if you can come on. Oh, and that fits with her dad. I feel a little bit drawn to Lisa because as the name did pop up, the energy was resonating 48. This feels right, quite a young gentleman. Lisa, did you want to come on to Zoom? Excuse me. Did you want to come on to Zoom, Lisa, or do you just want to do it by the messages? I'm happy either way. It'd be nice if you can come on. Really would be nice. She just confirmed that her husband had cardiac arrest. Because my initial thought is that my wife is on here. So I'm just going to go with everything I'm seeing, Lisa. And if you do want to come on to Zoom, you're more than welcome. And then we can talk to each other face to face. Otherwise, I'll just kind of start the process, because one of the feelings, okay, fair enough, Lisa, that's your free will. I'll give off the information, Lisa. So this gentleman, he connected with me. I did feel the husband trying to reach to his wife and to his family as well. Now, this is a very, very decent gentleman, Lisa. I will say this. And the years that you've traded, albeit has been shortened, unfortunately, that all the years that you've spent together, that this man has never regretted a single moment with you, Lisa. He just keeps putting how much that he loves you into my thoughts, and how grateful he was for you to be a part of his life. And I do feel a few years now that you had shared together. My feeling is, Lisa, that it's not been over in spirit that particularly long, maybe just a few short years. But in that, say it. I still feel drawn to Lisa. Yeah, I do. It's just that the age seems a little bit older than 41. But Jennifer, thank you so much. And if your husband does pop in, and then obviously I would connect. So yes, as I was saying there, Lisa, bless you. Yeah, just 3 years. So that is making a lot of sense. Because I did feel just a few short years that he's been over in spirit. Because in that short time that he's been over there, Lisa, you can just feel him. Like when I saw your name, he was just pushing in. This is why I know this is for you. Because in that first few short years, Lisa, he's been so desperate wanting you to know that he survived. And like everybody else there this evening that I've connected with, this man comes in visitation a lot. And as a matter of fact, Lisa, I don't think there's a day that's gone past that he's not been to see his beautiful, beautiful wife. And he keeps putting into my mind right now, Lisa, you're as beautiful today as you was the first day that he met you. And he's cherished every single moment. And he did say, Lisa, because obviously the way that he passed into spirit happened all quickly, there were family members that didn't get to say goodbye. And I've learned over the many years that when these things happen, they tend to come around us all before the crossover, and your husband did that. There is certainly a cheeky side to him, Lisa. I know I could have a good laugh, and I know we want to play, he wants to pull your leg, you can feel it. And with respect, and not to make this sound a bit wrong in any level, Lisa, but he wouldn't think twice to even walk past you and give you a quick grab on the backside. You can feel that cheeky side of him. And I can see maybe where you're in your kitchen or you're doing your house cleaning, and you'll stroll from the spirit world and like, woo, try to give you a grab on the bottom. So if you're feeling anything there, just know your beautiful man is very, very much with you, because why should it stop? Why that love and fun should stop just because we've been separated from a physical to a spiritual? That personality, that essence continues on. You will see him again. I know he cherished everything. I know you had your moments. Every relationship does, Lisa. We have our ups and downs. But as we look in hindsight, even at times when you did your head in, we still miss that because he's not with us. Bless him. I do feel like one of the other gentlemen that joined me tonight, that is over there in spirit, is enjoying the freebies. He's enjoying the free beer. He's having a good time up there. He truly, truly is. Bless him. Yes, my friend. I'll be careful how I kind of word this, Lisa. It does make me feel either yourself or him, before you met each other, had been in a serious relationship before. Because I don't, and I'm not going to sit there and be critical about an older relationship, but he did say, I just wish we met each other just a little bit sooner in life and had more time together. Hindsight's a funny old thing, isn't it? It really is. This is why I say to people, no matter what, to connect with your loved one, to connect with your friends, tomorrow's never guaranteed, is it? You don't plan for these things to happen. We don't. You plan in a relationship like you had to grow old together and, hold hands walking in the park and then eating your fish and chips, drawing your pension together. It's what we expect in life. And when something like this happens, it's like your world gets turned upside down. But I promise you, Lisa, he's never left you, darling. He speaks as well. Something to what his two names is actually given me, Lisa, that you may be able to confirm. He mentions with some affection the name of David, and also the name of Stephen seems to be important as well. So I'm not sure if these are his friends or family, but I know I've got to acknowledge those names. All right, my friend, what was that showing me as well? I'm on her bedside. Okay, he's putting a reference that he's on your bedside, so I assume he's talking about like a photograph of his or something on those lines, because it feels as if he's the last person you see at night, then he's the first person you see in the morning. And not to embarrass you in any way, shape, or form, but I can see where in those early days, I think you was actually sleeping with one of his shirts on or one of his t-shirts on, because I feel there's something I'm wearing in the bed to feel him, to sense him, um, to smell, just to get that energy of him because you was missing him. And he's just trying to reassure when you was doing that, Lisa, that he was laid there by your side. Absolutely. Yes, so you confirm about the older relationships. Yeah, it did make sense because it did feel that the pair of you came together later on in life where I think maybe there was children from a former relationship or something on those lines. Because I feel as if I'm talking about you're a step parent or he's a step parent, that kind of thing. But I know that the time, this is what was important, you see, because the time that you shared together, he is holding very sacred. And in the way he gave it to me is that although, oh, you did with his top. Yeah, thank you for confirming. Um, he said that the time that he shared is absolutely sacred, and you made his life feel complete. You made him feel complete. He went to spirit with none of this kind of, oh, I had unfinished business. I didn't find love, which is very sad for some people. You made his will complete, Lisa. It was perfect for him. You made him smile. You made him feel the sense of joy. And that's all we can ever ask for in life, isn't it? It's not about the money. It's not about the things, the houses, the cars. It's that love that we share. That's the most important thing. And when we go over there, to spirit, we start to really understand these things, that everything around us, the houses, everything, it's just secondary. It does help us to have a nice lifestyle, helps us have an easier life, but it's not the answers to life. The answers to life is the love that we share, the memories, the good times. That to him is what he's holding on to, Lisa. You changed his life. You gave him a reason to have a life. You showed him love, and that meant everything to him. My darling, I really, really hope you can take a lot from that. And oh, he adopted your son, did he? I know if I could feel the step kind of thing going off. I know he'll watch over all of them, Lisa. You and those children, you mean the absolute world to him. And I know when you leave this earth, he'll be the first person you see. Even if you find happiness and companionship with somebody else, Lisa, maybe you won't, maybe you will. That is your free will. And I know we'd never stand in your way. But that man, I promise you, will come for you at the end. He will. My darling, my heart goes out to you. God bless you. God bless. Oh, right. Okay. I've, I'm just reading through that. Can everybody see what the question is, or do I? They don't. Okay. Okay. So Sophie Willis has asked a question. Paul, is there something that stops loved ones from coming through and delivering a message? I've visited so many spiritualist events over the years, but I've rarely had anyone come through. I'm desperate for people to come through to me. Sophie, it's the thing when you go into spiritual events, you can have an audience with a lot of people, and each person can have 3 or 4 loved ones that they're waiting to come through. If there's 100 people in that audience, you're talking 400 or 500 spirit people all queuing up. It's a little bit like bingo, isn't it? You go with the hope that I'm going to win tonight, and then we don't win anything. And I know it's very difficult, and when you're really wanting that person to come through. But what I want you to know, Sophie, it's not that somebody doesn't love you up there. You must understand this, that you must appreciate the volume of spirit that is there waiting to get their message across. So it's not a case that nobody loves you or they don't want to bother with you anymore. It's probably because that particular medium just didn't get to that point. So please don't give up hope and don't give up faith. Maybe you could find a local medium to you that you could do a one-on-one with, and perhaps that would give you the opportunity for them to come through then. I hope that's answered your question, but it won't be a case that you're not loved or anything like that. You know, just keep putting it out there to them, and hopefully one day they will. Thank you, Richard. How much time have we got left? Okay, so we're just going to have a little scan through and see if any other spirit people want to come through. Oh, Lisa, bless your heart. My heart does go out to you, darling. Bless you, Sophie. Don't give up faith, my darling. Okay, anybody else want to come through? Whoa, okay. I'm not seeing the person this is connected with. So if everybody just has a little listen, and we will see if we can get a link in with this. Let's have a little look. Can I just get a little bit more information? Is it just somebody's just passing by? Or do you want to stop and say hello? Who are you, my friend? I can see what's happened. Are you willing to communicate? Okay, so I'm going to give off this information, and I'm going to be very, very delicate how this comes across because of the nature of what had happened with him. This young, well, I'd say, yes, fairly young gentleman. He would be, well, I'm 50, and the feeling from his energy is a few short years than me. So I think he could be around the 40 mark, maybe mid 40s. But the poor gentleman he was on his motorbike, and I can see him going round what looks like A roads, bendy kind of roads, country roads. But he did hit a little bit of speed. The conditions weren't that particularly great. It was raining, it was dark. I can see him just slightly coming over the center point around the corner, but not realizing there was oncoming vehicles, and he clipped. And I can see that where he landed, he'd passed instantly. Okay, so it was a motorbike accident. Now, I know it was accidental. I know that the driver that he did hit with his motorbike only sustained minor injuries. They did survive, but unfortunately, this gentleman was catapulted quite some distance, and the impact of him hit a tree, and that's what I saw. And so he hit this tree, and it was an instant passing. It was almost as if his spirit, his soul knew it was coming and jumped straight from his body even before the impact happened. So I know he never felt anything. Another one that is really desperately wanting to get through to his family. And the way you put it into my mind is that although this was an accident, it wasn't something that he's consciously gone out to do, that he takes responsibility. And I know he's put an apology through to the oncoming driver because it wasn't that driver's fault. They was driving okay. They was on the right side of the road. He came over. So he's taken full responsibility for why that had happened. And he's so, so sorry because it did leave that driver with some trauma. And they've had to deal with that. And he cannot apologize enough. Like I said, it was an accident. It wasn't deliberate. He thought it was clear, and it wasn't. And he took a gamble. And unfortunately, that gamble lost him his life, his physical life. But his soul lives on. Now, I know as a personality standpoint, I know that he was a very good person. He was. He had a very good heart. And I know that he loved his family very much. And I could feel that he was a little bit younger than me, not a teenager by any means, but a man that would be like early 40s and even possibly a late 30, but I felt more drawn with 40s with him for what I could see in the visuals. I know he's wanting to reach to his partner, to his children, because he was a dad of a couple of children there. I can take that he was coming down from work and I had premonitions about it before he died. Okay, Kelly Roquette, did you want to come on Zoom, or are you just going to just speak? You'll be early 40s by now. Okay, this may be for you then, Kelly. So I don't know if you want to come on and see what we can do. She want to come on? Is she a bit shy? You're all been a bit shy tonight. Okay, so we're just going to do it through the messages. I'll keep it short and sweet because I know we're at time, Kelly. But however this gentleman connects with you, I know that he is so desperately wanting to say that despite that fatal day, that he didn't feel anything, Kelly. And I think that is so important for his family because, you know, getting to find out something like that has happened, it's because everybody's in the PJs. That's just made me laugh. Sorry, Kelly. You know, it is important because at the end of the day, there's a family that's lost their loved one. You know, they're not getting to say goodbye, and it's unexpected. It's tragic. He's just so desperately wanting everybody to know that he survived and he's at peace. And as I said there, Kelly, you know, he wasn't a bad person. He wasn't. And I know that he loves his family very, very much. Yes, my friend. I think he's been up there a little while now, hasn't he, Kelly? This is not recent. I think it's been a few years have gone by. And so I can see that over the years he has been coming down to let people know he's okay. But it's interesting because he did say that one person is very, very sensitive to him. So in his family, as he comes down, as he goes close to them, they know his presence there. So I don't know if there's a medium in the family or they're just very sensitive. So it may be great to them say to them, no, you're not going crazy. You are experiencing him. So that's nice to know. All right, my friend. He'd also said there he had, well, it was a massive, massive turnout for his send off. There was a lot of people, there was a lot of friends there as well. And I think it was standing room only. So there were so many people there. And he wanted to say thank you because, again, like another one that I had mentioned, everything was bright, it was uplifting. And I do actually think there's some kind of, I don't know if it was rock or metal kind of music that was played at his funeral. I don't know if it was like Meatloaf or something, just something that was quite rock and roll-ish. That was put into my thoughts. But he did want to say thank you for the choices of music because it was very fitting for his legacy, for his life. Absolutely. Kelly, we have to call time now, my darling, but know that you've been thought about tonight and know that he's fine, know that he's at peace. And as I said there, despite that fatal day, he never felt anything and he crossed straight over. So much love to you, my darling, and to everybody else here that's joined on this session. And until the next time I come on to SPTV, I'd like to bid you all a good night and have an enjoyable rest of your weekend. Until the next time, God bless. Oh, right. Yes, if you are fancying a private reading, I unfortunately do have a very long waiting list, but I do have a website where you can email from, and it's my telephone number on there. And the website is www.Paul Centre Score, that's a line in the middle, Humphries, HUMPHRIS.com. Okay, so that's www.paul-humphries, HUMPHRIES.com. So all my details are on there and up and coming events that I do across the UK. I'm always on the road, so you know, if you see me go, oh, I saw you on SPTV, that'd be really nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much. Been a fantastic night. I've loved every moment. Till the next time, good night and God bless.